And also there's some more information on the food situation in China. As we mentioned before, they're facing floods, they're facing droughts, they have locusts, they have many other issues impacting the food supplies in China. And now the Guangdong granary was allegedly storing 2,500 tons of poisonous rice. Some individuals tied to it have been sentenced to between 1 and 5 years in prison for their involvement. There are around 2,000 tons of rice contaminated with the heavy metal cadmium that's used in batteries. Now, what are we saying? The Chinese Communist Party typically only takes actions like this, going after corruption at lower levels of government, if it's something that impacts public image, if it's something in the interest of the Chinese Communist Party. Now, let's look at a few different elements of this. On one side, is it in the CCP's interest to talk about food being poisoned? Is it in the interest of the Chinese Communist Party to talk about, say, low-level officials involved in, money-making schemes polluting the country's food supplies? No, definitely not. So why would they say this at that time, especially when food supplies and concerns around food security are increasing in China? Why would they do this? Well, my analysis on this is this. The Chinese Communist Party is aware there's an issue with food security. They need to make it look like they're doing something about it. They need to make it look like they're going after corrupt low-level officials. They need to make it look like this is not something the CCP itself is responsible for, and make it look like the CCP is the responsible body in this. And so they take different low-level officials, make them the sacrificial lambs to maintain the party interest and the party image. When they go after corrupt local officials like this, keep in mind in China, most Chinese Communist Party officials are corrupt. If you're going to do business in China, you have to get involved in some level of corruption. There's almost no way around it. When it comes to these low-level officials embezzling funds, when it comes to these low-level officials getting money out of the country, when it comes to the way they get promoted, all this often ties to corruption. The Chinese Communist Party can go after any of these officials at any time they want. And so when they do go after them, typically it means there's something broader taking place.